Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today's practice is going to take place in a chair, and there are a couple reasons for this. First of all, sometimes our bodies aren't really in a place where it's super accessible to move in a super dynamic way, which is often what we encounter when we go to a traditional movement class. But secondly, and this one might even be a little bit more relevant depending on the experience in your own body, but we can also find these chair movements throughout our entire day. There's simpler things to work in. If I'm in the middle of my workday and I were to step over and drop into a downward facing dog, that might be a little jarring to some people that share space with me. But if I were to find some wiggles in my chair, people probably wouldn't even think twice. And so, although I would ideally hope for a world where we can just drop on the floor and do some yoga movements, it is nice to have some movements in your back pocket that you can turn to when you're in a space where that might feel more comfortable. So, grab a chair if you don't have one yet. I'm just going to be here in this folding chair. You might grab a more comfortable chair for yourself if you'd like. Because we're not moving a lot, you might find it nice to have socks on or to have a jacket on. I'm rocking both right now. And as you find your seat, you might notice if it would feel nice to gaze softly downward, limiting the stimuli from your vision, or potentially to even close your eyes. And these are equal value options. So choose whatever feels most supportive to you. You can plant both feet onto the ground and add just a small amount of pressure into your feet, bringing a little bit more awareness into them. Think of your pelvis right now. If you picture your pelvis as a bowl, if it were to tip forward, you'd spill water out the front. If it tips back, you might spill water out the back. And try to find that nice, even zone where you're rooted down evenly through your pubic bone and your tailbone, and the bowl of your pelvis would not be spilling water either direction. And from this foundation, we can begin to circle our shoulders a little bit. I like to start by circling mine back and slow the movement, however it naturally starts in your body. Slow it down just a bit. Picture your shoulder blades scrubbing through the fascia, creating a little bit more freedom in this zone of your body. Then you can gently let your shoulders land on your backside. Your hands might rest on your thighs. Palms can be facing down if you are looking to decrease your energy level, to ground down. And palms can rest face up if you would like a little bit more receptive of a feeling here. Again, there's no right or wrong way to be here, and you might have to experiment trying one thing and then the other to notice what you do want to choose. That's perfectly fine. Notice where your head is in space. We spend a lot of time with our head forward and chin jutting out. You might gently draw your ears over your shoulders, creating a little bit of length in your spine. You might even feel like your jaw draws back. And from here, we're going to begin scanning through our bodies. You can start within the region of your head and face. Notice if there's any holding in the musculature of your face, your jaw, your eyelids, even your tongue. You might let your lips part, but your jaw hangs a little heavier. Scan down through your shoulders, noticing if there's any clenching there, or if they're supported by your erect torso. You might notice your hips. Are there any adjustments you can make to feel a little bit more comfortable here? Is your spine long? Are you still rooted down evenly through both pubic bone and tailbone? Notice the muscles of your legs. They're not needed in this moment. They show up so regularly all day long for us. In this moment, we can let them soften, let them rest. And then back down to those feet rested on the floor. Notice that place of contact between your feet and the floor. You have some options here. You might notice that as you find this place of stillness, it feels quite restful, quite nice. And if that's the case, you're invited to stay and explore that further. If you notice that in trying to find stillness, your body feels a little antsy, like it's itching for some movement, then you're invited to meet your body where it's at and invite some movement in. One thing that we can begin to do then, and if you are choosing stillness, you might even pause this video and let yourself sit here without me talking through alternate things. But if you are looking for movement, one thing that you might do is release your right arm by your side. Let it hang heavy. Turn your palm face forward, and then bring your thumb by your side and palm face back. Do that a few more times. Palm face forward and back. Forward and back. Notice that spinning of your upper arm bone as you do this, that internal rotation and external rotation. The next time your palm is facing forward, you can bring your arm gently out to the side, reaching it all the way up. You might even blink your eyes open and look up. We're going to lower and lift this arm a few times, letting ourselves experience this as though it's for the first time. Knowing that the wonders of our bodies can become a little bit familiar. We can take them for granted. What if this was the first time that you mindfully reached your arm up, noticing all of the engagement that happens, and then lowered it back down? This next time as you reach it up, you're going to come over, catch the far side of your head, let your right ear melt toward your right shoulder, and let your right hand become dead weight atop your head. Breathe here for one more cycle of breath. Then release your hand, head comes through neutral. Your arm's going to lower back down and then hand back to your leg. Lower your left arm. And let's start with those swivels, palm facing forward and back. Forward and back. Again, a movement that is simple, but that can be quite profound if you allow yourself to remain present to it. On an inhale, we're going to reach left arm up, look up, and lower it down. Let's do that a few more times, looking up as your arm reaches, and back to neutral as your arm lowers. You might match this to your breath. You can move faster or slower than me. The next time your arm is lifted, we'll let it come over to your far ear. Left ear melts toward left shoulder. Your hand can become heavy on your head. So you get a gentle stretch through your right side of your neck. Gently release your left arm up. Head comes through neutral. Left hand's going to lower. We're going to bring both arms up at once. And then on an exhale, right hand forward, left hand's going to reach back, twist to your left, stay rooted evenly through both your sit bones. Inhale, both arms up through center. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, up through center. On your exhale, bring your fingertips to the base of your skull. If you're interested in finding movement here, you can start by pressing your skull to your finger to your skull. Fingers to your skull. Reach your elbows back in space any amount that feels okay to you. And then from here, as you lean your head back, keep pressing down through your sit bones. Lift any amount through your heart. Use an inhale to gently ease your way back up. Release your hands down. You can shake your arms out. On an inhale, we're going to reach arms up again. On the exhale, right hand comes to your left knee. Left arm can reach back, or you might catch the back side of your chair. This is a slightly different twist because we can pull against these contact points and change the form slightly. Inhale up through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, return through center. On your exhale, bring your right hand down by your side, reach over with your left arm. You might find that this feels nice to reach out of your right hand, keeping it a little bit further away from your body. On an inhale, both arms up. Exhale, other side. Again, you might reach out of your left hand. Notice what's happening in your feet. Can you keep them evenly planted? Inhale up through center. We're going to go once more to the right, but this time you might press your right hand across your body. Inhale up through center. And exhale once more to the left. Left hand presses across your body. Inhale up through center. On the exhale, hands are going to reach forward as you hinge at your hips. So one long line from your fingertips to your hips until you find your belly or ribs upon your thighs. And you can let your hands either rest on the mat outside of your feet, or you can wrap them around your calves and let your head hang heavy, maybe rolling it a little side to side. Soften through your jaw. All right, to ease up out of this, let your arms hang heavy if they're not already. We're going to go vertebra by vertebra. So press into your feet, vertebra by vertebra, almost like a zombie from a Hollywood movie. And come to seated. We're going to do that a little bit quicker. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, nice long line until you contact your upper legs and then soften down. Inhale, rise up. Once more. Hinge forward. Inhale to rise. Arms up. And on your exhale, let your hands float back down to your legs. Here we have an opportunity to get a little bit into our shoulders and necks. So we're going to bring the right hand over to the left side. Find the base of your ear. You can look a little to the right. And you're going to find that band of muscle that runs all the way down your throat and connects into your clavicle. And you might massage up and down that. This is a great one if you get tension headaches. You might even find a place that feels really, really nice to kind of grip and hold. Gently release from there. Turn your head through neutral. Crawl your fingertips to the midway point on your shoulder. It's kind of where a tank top strap would be, and slightly over the crest of your shoulder. And you can work your fingers into that. Keep your left shoulder softened down, and you're going to find a place where you can pressure in and create a little bit of release. One more breath here. As you soften, ease the pressure, right hand to right leg, we'll go to the other side. So look left. Left hand finds the base of your right ear and can massage down that band of muscle, potentially stopping if there's a certain spot that feels fruitful to linger within. You can begin to ease your time here and crawl your fingertips to that spot on your shoulders. You bring your head back to face forward. Just over the crest, keep your right shoulder melted down. That'll help you find this spot within your muscle that could use potentially a little bit of release. And take a couple breaths here. On your exhale, you're going to gently release. Left hand comes down to your left leg. Find any other wiggles or movements here. Sometimes it feels nice to grip the backside of your chair if your shoulders have that mobility, and to lean back any amount, still pressing down through your sit bones and lifting through your heart. You might get a back pop there. Sometimes it feels nice to come forward again, crawling your hands forward and letting your head hang heavy. Whatever you do, know that we're gently working our way back to that starting place of stillness. Check in with your pelvis. Is your bowl still holding water? Are your feet evenly planted with just a slight amount, maybe 5% of pressure into your feet? Just enough to feel the floor beneath you. And as we settle back in, we're going to find that body scan once more, moving all the way from the top to the bottom, scanning through your face, your jaw, your shoulders. Noticing your breath, your pelvis, your hips, your legs. Making your way down to your feet, where you can again dwell on that point of contact between your feet and the floor. You might notice if there's any lingering sensation or anything that's come up in your body as you completed this scan. If bringing your awareness inward to your breath seems of interest to you, you might do that. Following your breath, letting your exhales lengthen. You can even exhale from your mouth in a sort of sigh. If you notice that bringing your awareness inward feels aggravating or irritating in any way, I would invite you to blink your eyes open and instead find a focal point outside of your body. You might notice if that feels more supportive to you in this moment. Let's take just a couple more breaths together. Remembering that This place, this stillness, this awareness, there's always an invitation to tap into it. It is always an option, even in the busiest day, to find some awareness of what's going on in this body, this mind, to take an intentional breath, to feel the earth beneath our feet. You might choose to stay here for a moment longer. Or if you're ready to exit this space, you can open your eyes and first orient to your surroundings. As you feel ready, maybe adding in some wiggles, some movements that allow you to eventually leave your seated form on your chair and move into the rest of your day, whatever it might hold. Thank you so much for joining.